Pumpkins out, clocks back. Time to clamber out of our coffins with a big stretch, 'cause summer's finally shoved off for the best season of all. Halloween, baby. Fright bag time.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
The early 1970s was a boom time for British witchcraft, with loads of hippies from 60s counterculture getting into Wicca, the newly formed Church of Satan riling up squares, and Black Widows Come to the Sabbath blaring from record players as cinemas pumped out a cult-themed horror. This renewed interest in the black arts spawned multiple documentaries. Witchcraft 70, Secret Rites, Legend of the Witches, and this one, Power of the Witch. Broadcast on BBC Two in December of 1972, Power of the Witch has never been repeated, and the old occult documentary vibes are immaculate, from slightly befuddled reporter to the visually murky footage with its evil red tint.
On one estimate, there are 30,000 people practicing in witchcraft in this country alone. Are there really dangers involved, or is it all just a delusion?
Its tone is of mild hysteria, not just spotlighting a fad, but forewarning the destruction of young minds and common Christian decency. Presenter is Michael Bakewell, then husband of Joan, dressed like an undercover cop.
The revival of public interest in witchcraft is one of those curious features of life today.
Curious indeed, as the film would have you believe there are witches everywhere, half of all Brits suckling at Baphomet's milkers.
Our investigation in the end has led us to some pretty nasty evidence.
Through the course of the documentary, Bakewell will speak to many both inside the witchy culture and opposing it, and amazing characters all.
Doreen Valiente is a witch, and she believes that witchcraft should never be approached lightly.
The amount of silly dabbling in the occult that goes on today scares me.
Doreen's not the most occult of names, mind.
We believe in the horned god and in the goddess of the moon.
Doreen had an interesting life, with a wiki page longer than the Queen's, which goes into some detail about her time in the National Front.
And in a wood at midnight, on the night of the full moon, Doreen Valiente carried out her ritual, hoping that in this experiment, never before tried in front of cameras, some psychic manifestations might appear on the film.
Alright, let's keep an open mind.
And we invoke thee to appear.
There's also Timu Fenella Fielding.
I had to work and learn it the hard way by checking my findings with all the ancient writers on the occult from time immemorial. And I found that it tallies, it always does.
And a witch called Eleanor Bone.
And we believe if we set our minds on a thing, we're going to get it.
If you've set your mind on seeing Eleanor in the nip, you dirty sod, they do show her coven doing a nudie ritual, which I can't let you see. Your dad replying to the selfies of women who don't follow him.
Blessed be thy breast from beauty.
Alex Sanders, labelled by the media as King of the Witches, uses magic to manifest his desires, like winning the Omaze raffle.
I did a magic ritual in reverse, and within a year I owned a 26-roomed house.
Ground rent and lecky bills were crippling though. When a group of hard lads in the street call me a soft little wanker.
I can say in all candour that there is no basis for that view.
If you think he's posh, get a load of this.
From Minehead down to Bodmin Moor, I've known about 17 charmers.
Enough about your dating life. What about witches?
I was a complete stranger to him. He invited me into his house, sat me down in his parlour, looked at me very hard and said, "You can do it, can't you?"
Then there's Cornish bard William Painter, who does folklore talks in schools.
4 children, each in turn. One said, "My grandfather can charm warts. My grandfather can charm ringworms in cattle. My grandfather can stop the flow of blood when anyone's badly cut."
Yeah, well, my grandfather accidentally sat on the curtains and pulled the whole rail down.
It is a charm against all terrors by night. It contains the wings of a bat.
Do people like this exist anymore? I hope so.
And they were told to take the heart of the animal that had met with a mysterious end, pierce it with nails and pins and horseshoe nails, and put it in a chimney, and all would be well.
Spells sound a right laugh, like the way to magically blight somebody's crops.
He is said to have tied a toy plough to the leg of a pet toad and sent it scurrying across the local fields.
Brilliant interviewees aside, Power of the Witch paints a lurid picture of a growing, deadly epidemic, at least according to the press, and this is the 80s satanic panic, a full decade early.
The desecration of this cemetery at Basingstoke last Easter could, of course, have been the work of hooligans. But since it seemed to require such frenetic energy, Satanists cannot be ruled out.
Here's the niece of a man said to have been the victim of an occult murder.
Do you think that there was any chance that witchcraft played any part in his death at all?
No. I think the papers made a lot of it.
Warwickshire is supposed to have been one of the great centres of witchcraft. Did you ever meet a witch or know anything about witchcraft?
No, never.
Then a quintessential vicar.
One Sunday I noticed that the church candles seemed to be burning down rather quickly, so I made a mark on them. The following Sunday I noticed that they had burnt down even more, so I went along to the police and said that I thought perhaps somebody was using the church during the week.
This too got turned into a lurid story.
For myself, I don't think that there is anything to do with witchcraft in the matter. More probably it was a vagrant who was seeking shelter in the church.
Of course, cheeky Charlie Manson rears his head, and as they get into Satanism, Bakewell's down in the caves of the Hellfire Club.
It's difficult at this distance of time to know how much genuine Satanism played a part in their practices.
Black masses might sound evil, but they were the Beatles about of their day.
On one occasion, the devil did in fact put in a personal appearance. He leapt across the table and seized Lord Sandwich by the throat. Sandwich collapsed in a nervous fit. The devil turned out to be an ape, equipped with false horns and a little black cloak.
Just a prank, bro, just a prank. Among the parade of amazing characters, perhaps the best is Captain Barry Irons, a youth counsellor from the church army.
I'm told by a large number, and I do mean a large number of young people who've come to see me, that very often the first time they have been taken to a party where witchcraft has been involved, they have been initiated, which largely means, of course, that they're laid on the altar and the sacred signs are made on their body with animals' blood.
Your classic expert, who learned everything from Hammer horror films they haven't even watched, and the Ladybird Book of Witches.
One of the vows is, of course, first of all, that you promise to forward the work of our Lord Satan, Lord of Earth. Another thing is that you must break the faith of a Christian.
Imagine you broke Cliff. They'd probably make you leader. Harry, can I have a quick word?
Nasty notes pinned to a jacket, a note put on your typewriter, a cat's heart or testicles found in your jacket pocket. By involving themselves in occult practices and satanic worship, they open themselves to spirit possession.
Captain Barry got licensed by the church to carry out exorcisms on teens who'd been mucking about with the devil. At time of filming, 142 of them.
after I'd invited a young girl who had been a witch for about 4 years to come and see me. And I was pretty convinced that she was possessed of something which was evil. And the horrifying thing is that they're very often unconscious for nearly half an hour.
You know, this vicar might be even better than the first one.
The manner of Christian exorcism is very varied. It could be done quite informally and extemporally.
Oh yeah, it's not just Captain Wolverine driving out the demons.
Let all witchcraft, sorcerer, and black magic fly from hence, by the true God, the living God, the holy God.
When you're conducting an exorcism at 3, but Slipknot are playing the main stage at 1 minute past. Famously, Michael Gove said we were sick of experts. He couldn't have been talking about this lot.
Eventually one of the people come and say, well, quieten down everybody, he's arrived. By the word he, they refer of course to the man in black, the coven leader. And a runner, which is the man in black's secretary or scribe, will make all the arrangements. He's like a major domo.
Power of the Witch was scary stuff, and one wonders, did Britain's occult mania lead the nation directly into hell? Or did everyone just move on to other stuff, like Rubik's Cubes and disco?
Or is it all self-delusion? Hysteria?
Spooky old docs are great, but the best paranormal telly's an unexpected left turn in a normal show. Barbara Woodhouse training a werewolf, someone bringing the Hexham Heads on the Antiques Roadshow. Or if Countryfile did a whole episode about crop circles.
Well, today we've got a special report for you about a con man who claims that he's fooled the world and left his mark on the British countryside.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, the angle of this 1998 episode isn't, it's aliens what done it, but here's the bloke who's been mucking up farmers' fields for a laugh.
This elusive artist is up to no good.
It functions as a nice profile piece on Doug Bauer, who, along with his mate Dave, made the crop circles everyone swore were messages from aliens, with a plank of wood and some string, really pissing off anyone who ever stood in one and said they could feel an energy vortex.
Doug Bauer was known for doing the fake crop circles back in 1990. I don't know why you're going and interviewing this guy, because there's many other people who are much more reliable witnesses.
The rural community got the right hump about it. Like this farmer with the sort of farmer name you usually get in a Jethro joke.
It's sad, really, that somebody has to do this graffiti on the landscape. It is very sad.
How much he charges for entry to that field? £1.
You see, our circles were circular. UFOs, flying saucers, are circular. So as soon as they spotted them when daybreak, they would say, hello, a flying saucer has landed during the night.
Doug and Dave were smart, kick-starting a frenzy of speculation and wasting a lot of people's time, even going so far as to infiltrate crop circle research.
I said to one researcher, I said, well, I'm a wildlife sound recorder, so I travel around quite a bit. I said, if I spot any circles, would you like me to let you know? He said, I would. So I used to, after we did a circle, we used to ring him up in the morning and say there's one at so-and-so.
But even showing how he did it doesn't put off the true believers.
I call them the circle makers. I don't believe that they're physical. I believe that they're a non-physical, very high spiritual awareness, consciousness, or gestalt, a group of consciousnesses that have been working together for eons.
It's an interesting story of faith and the sunk cost fallacy of putting all your eggs in the basket of belief.
I mean, how could you do that in the dark with a plank of wood? You can't, can you? You can't possibly do that.
To prove once and for all it's not UFOs or Uri Geller's guffs, Countryfile set themselves a challenge to make a crop circle right under everyone's noses. In an exciting heist, Doug and co work away as circle dogmatists patrol the area in cars, leading to an angry confrontation with the BBC film crew.
We're not filming anything here. You're going to film him making a crop circle. We're filming an interview here. Yeah, and he's probably made a crop circle. You're discrediting the phenomena and it's wrong. This is not on.
It's the angriest anyone's ever been over wheat.
Come on, we all know it's a hoax. But nobody really seems to take the time to speak to a tremendous amount of people out nearly every night of the week trying to find out answers to this phenomenon.
Anyway, they did the circle just fine. Planks and string.
The biggest laugh of the century, this is.
Speaking of unexpected Halloween specials, Channel 5 game show 100% went all in. Contestants playing for £200 are asked 100 multiple-choice questions by an unseen host. And for the spooky season...
Ghoulies, ghosties and nasties come together for the Halloween special.
Players aren't just in costume, they're in character.
Nasty creature number 1, what is your name?
Monster!
The Wicked Witch, and this is Rex.
Dracula. Count Dracula.
Really admire the commitment by Frankenstein, sacrificing points by moving all slow and monstery and coming dead last. Some good reaction shots too.
A vampire can only be destroyed by driving a clove of garlic through its heart. Is that true or false?
I ended up getting sucked into the game.
In European folklore, if a cat jumps over a coffin, the corpse will become a what?
And as it's Halloween, the requisite cameo.
Which of the following was not born on October the 31st? A. Jimmy Savile.
Of course that's his birthday.
Question 98. Who played Ghost Dad in the 1990 film with the same name?
If I'd been there, I'd have left with 200 quid in my pocket.
What was the name of the witch who was the enemy of Rod Hull and Emu and the Children of the Pink Windmill?
Although the scariest thing might be the ad break, early Channel 5 was wild.
Welcome to Tibs and Fibs, the medical quiz for those of us who like to play doctors and nurses. What makes a woman's nipples change from pink to brown?
Chocolate treacle.
For the finale, let's look at another documentary. Well, pseudo-documentary. Made for NBC in 1965. The stately ghosts of England sees the great Margaret Rutherford on a tour of haunted stately homes. Accompanied by husband Stringer Davis and psychic Tom Corbett, Margaret likely got the job due to an association with the supernatural, after her iconic turn as an eccentric medium in Blythe's Spirit. Directed by the man who wrote the novel of The Entity, pre-air publicity claimed the shoot was beset with ghostly problems, from slamming doors to the film stock itself becoming damaged. And once again, everyone on camera's a plummy-voiced posho.
Too many people have seen ghosts of the monks of Beaulieu Abbey too many times to permit doubt in any but the most sceptical mind.
First we're off to Longleat, later best known as home of legendary shagger, the Marquis of Bath and his many wifelets. And I love the way Margaret pronounces immobile.
One of the finest private collections in the world, today stands immobile and unread upon the shelves.
Her pronunciation is a constant highlight.
Oh, Mr. Corbett isn't a medium. He's a clairvoyant. But clairvoyants make no such claim.
Every scene is absolute cut-glass finery, playing into that American idea us Brits are all lords, ladies and barons in palatial estates, while each ghost has a tragic backstory.
The duel ended in tragedy. The lover was killed. Ever since then, the corridor where the duel took place has been filled with a restless, unhappy atmosphere. They tell of a green figure that wanders along it, at the sound of weeping. Never mind,
Me when I read a comment which says, "This is a good video."
I just happened to be born with a gift.
But they've got an eyewitness in Longleat's librarian.
Well, it was not so much a matter of seeing with one's physical eyes as of feeling something very sinister in a particular spot in that corridor.
While sold as a documentary, it's very dramatically scripted and consequently the highest of Halloween camp.
We are going there now, Miss Coates. Would you care to join us?
No, thank you. I never go there now.
This predates Most Haunted and that whole genre by almost 4 decades, yet all the hallmarks are here in their earliest form. The use of technology to capture the supernatural, a midnight vigil, and in a show where a group of ghost hunters wander round a haunted house, one of them a clairvoyant.
She is here. She is very definitely here.
Is she here? I mean, is she in our midst?
This is pure Yvette and Derek.
Can't you feel it yourself?
Yes.
The unpleasant and rather hair-raising atmosphere of this corridor.
Perhaps we can bring a little cheer from our
I
own
hope we
lives.
can. Slowly fading.
It's very dear of her to come, isn't it, and see us?
And Margaret's somewhat of an expert herself.
Well, ghosts rarely manifest themselves in colour, Lord Bath. They're usually described as grey or whitish grey because that's the general colour of the ectoplasm which surrounds psychic manifestation.
These ideas of ghosts are still rather Victorian, before every creaking floorboard was demonic shadow people, the simple days of grey ladies and ectoplasm. Back then, they weren't sure a ghost could even be photographed.
By means of camera lens?
Yes, but never in colour. However, there have been many pictures of ectoplasmic manifestations recorded in black and white film.
Just like modern shows, they've caught something on film.
The following day we saw the film that had been taken in the haunted corridor. There was something on it.
Also like those shows, it's thoroughly inconclusive.
You see it now?
Yes, coming down the
Comes
wall.
through the door.
Quite right.
Through the door on the left.
It seems to go disappear at that door on the left.
You see?
Yes.
Stringer gets even less lines than he did in Margaret's films, speaking only once, while her beautiful expressive face was made for reacting to ghosts.
Pity it isn't happening to the one upstairs, Tom. You know, we've got 2 ghosts at Salisbury Hall.
But you're wrong in thinking, Mr. Goldsmith, that you have just 2 ghosts. On the way in, I found a 3rd one on the bridge leading to the house.
More than 2.
If social media had been around in '65, there's enough reaction GIFs here for everyone.
There, right there. It was when they lifted those flagstones that they found the skeleton of a man.
Margaret's often breaking off from the group to poke about like Miss Marple, at one point finding a secret passage, before hearing about a dead cavalier.
Yes, it happened to me in that bedroom, through there. One night when I had a rather heavy cold and I went to sleep in that room.
For the last location, it's off to Bewley.
Now I want you to come and meet my sister, because when it comes to ghosts, she's had some of the weirdest experiences of all.
Really? Is she at home today?
Lord Montague's sister, who looks like Thatcher, told a friend about the night she heard a ghostly choir of monks.
While she was putting on the kettle for tea, I went over to her piano and I started to pick out the tune I'd heard the night before. It went something like this. When I looked round, she stared at me. She said, "So you heard it too?"
There's a decent jump scare in this too.
When she saw a monk in a brown habit standing motionless in one of the arches. Out there.
a film which continually tops itself with the poshness of its cast. Surely, you think, we've just seen the poshest person alive. Then someone like this comes along.
Then the sounds became closer and more distinct, and there was definitely a suggestion of people digging.
Can't decide if he's played by Mark Heap or Ray fucking Purchase.
Next day, I ran into Mrs. Day, and she told me she'd been out that very night, and had heard the same chanting out in the road. You should have a word with her.
With more trailblazing for paranormal telly, they hold a midnight vigil, Margaret kicking things off with a Byron quote.
Let those deny who will. I, for one, choose to believe it.
Though sadly, inevitably, no monks did come chant that night. Some would have us believe that to dabble in the occult is to see yourself bound for the fires of hell. But I've already seen my heaven, and it's Margaret Rutherford going round haunted stately homes in her cape. Happy Halloween.
To the old ones, merry meet, merry part.